Hi, peaceful pinners. Happy Thursday? It's Thursday. I'm going to be doing the Easter Blossom Easter egg, you guys, as requested by the vote that I put up there yesterday on YouTube. So we're gonna do that today. I do want to just mention for anybody who is new around here, if you're watching this after the fact, this is a live. It's not going to be a full step-by-step tutorial. As usual, all of these live streams, these peaceful pinning live streams, are more of a yap and pin than an actual tutorial, but we do have lots of tutorials on the channel. Okay, so be sure to check those out if you're interested. No wonder I can't see. My glasses are not on my face. Hi, Patty. Hi, Robbie. Hi, Beth. Happy Thursday to you, too. Hi, Judy. Hey, Becky. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Louise. Hi, Debbie. Kathy said happy birthday to your son, Stacy Ann. Thank you, Kathy. I appreciate that. 27. 27 years old today. Hi, Rebecca. Rebecca said, how was your dinner with your family? Did your son have a good birthday? I think so. It was nice. They came over. He ended up leaving because he had made plans with his friends. So he ate and we had cupcakes and that was nice. And then he went to his friend's house and then I watched a show with my daughter and her boyfriend. Louise said, did my first fabric egg today. Which pattern did you do? Did you do the basic star Easter egg? Hi, Nancy T. Hi, Sherry. Sherry said, hello, everyone. Remember live chat. You know what's funny, Sherry? I remembered today. Like, for the first time ever, I remembered. Hi, Christy. Hi, Diane. Brenda said, good afternoon. Sunny North Carolina today. Hey, Robin with the Y. Okay, I'm going to start. I'm just sitting here. I did pre-mark my egg, you guys, because this is one of those ones that has a little bit more egg marking, and it would have been boring to watch, but also I wasn't 100% sure that I could even successfully do it on a live stream. This isn't a pattern that I have made too many times, and it has certainly been a few years. I think that we came out with this pattern in 2019 is when we came out with this pattern. This is, you guys, one of our past club exclusive patterns. So I don't have a link to buy it because it's not available outside of the club. But if you're a club member currently, you can find it in the secret store if anybody's interested in going back and buying this old pattern from 2019. Louise said, yes, the one on the tutorial. And how did it come out? They're a labor of love, right, Louise? Like, they take some time, but it's worth it. They're really pretty. This one's going to be the same. This one's a labor of love too. And we're going to see how far that we get today. I have a feeling that maybe we'll be finishing it tomorrow for finishing Friday. If I take too long making it. Hi, Barb. Hi, Steven. Becky said, hey, son. Hi, Phil. Louise said, came out great. Glad I took my time. Purple colors, will post. Awesome. I can't wait to see it. So I'm doing this one in those same fabrics, you guys, that I showed you a week or two ago. We had it come out in the shop a week or two ago. It was a fabric bundle. I made one earlier as a run through because it had been so long since I did this, and I made it with some way busier fabrics. We're actually coming out with 2 bundles that include these fabrics tomorrow, but I was like, man, that is busy. I didn't think I wanted to do that for this live, so we're doing these softer colors. I think that those fabrics would have looked really good on a striped Easter egg, kind of like probably the one that you did, Louise, a regular basic star egg. I think busy stripes like that you can get away with a little bit more, but on this one, not so much. Hey, Roseanne. So some of you guys who have been around for a long time in the Ornament Girls Club will remember this one. This is the Easter Blossom pattern. And again, for those of you guys who are just joining in since I started, it came out in 2019. Hi, Jean. Becky said, what pattern is this? It's the Easter Blossom pattern. March 2019, I believe, is when we came out with this one. And this one was designed by Monica, one of our Ornament Girl designers. So far, the only thing I'm doing differently from the original design is that in hers, we had a square underneath of this center flower, and that's just in case you have any white foam showing through after you do your next layer. But I'm going to be ambitious and hope that I don't have any foam showing. That's what I'm going for. So I was lazy and I skipped the step of that center square. Hi, Peggy. Hey, Tony. Tony said hello and happy Thursday, everyone. Robbie said, I just made this one for the first time a few days ago. Robbie, how did it turn out? Now, I've heard that the first time through for this one can be a little bit of a thing. It takes a little bit of practice. I do think once you get it, it becomes easier, but it's a little bit more of a, I don't want to say it's complicated because it really doesn't have any complicated folds. I think it can look a little intimidating, and the line drawing can be a little bit of a thing. Hi, Kate. You're not late, Kate, today. Hi, CJ. Looks like your comment got cut off, Robbie, so I'm going to wait until I see the rest of it. It came out okay. I used scrappy pastel fabric, not bad for my first time. That's good. I'm happy to hear it. Robin said, excited to see the finished egg. So I'll show you again, you guys, what this pattern will look like, but just, of course, different fabrics. I'm thinking this one might get toned down a little bit with all white ribbon. I'm kind of thinking that I might do like an all white ribbon. But yeah, it's a little, this one's really busy, so I'm not loving that part of it. I think this one's going to be much prettier. CJ asked, how's everyone doing? Hi, Anne-Marie. Anne-Marie said, hi, Stacey, and everyone, that looks pretty already. Thank you. I have not 100% decided on the order of my last two fabrics or if I'm even going to add this last color. We're going to see as we go. Hey, Diane. Diane said, hi, everyone. Glad to be back. So what are we doing? Looks great already. We are doing the Easter Blossom pattern, which is from 2019. Guys, if I start veering out of camera, let me know. With eggs, because I'm not used to holding them like I am with the round shape, I feel like sometimes I have a tendency to pull it towards me while I'm pinning. So I might have to be reminded a few times to stay in the camera. Oh, I got behind. Tammy, did I say hi to you yet? If not, hi. I'm glad to see you here. Hi, Kat. Tony said that's going to be beautiful. I hope so, Tony. Thank you. Tracy said, hi, everyone. Deborah said, good evening to you and everyone. This is my first time on your live. The egg is cute. Well, welcome, welcome, Deborah. Very happy to have you here. Bobby said, doing good, CJ. How are you? You guys, thank you for the hearts. I really appreciate it. Peggy said, I also made this for the first time a few weeks ago during my kit catching up binge. It came out okay, but it was a challenge. I would try it again. I think you'd probably have an easier time the second time around. This one can be a little bit of a challenge. Again, I kind of chalk a lot of that up to the fact that the egg is like a hard shape to hold on to. It's awkward. I have a pin trying to show over here, so I'm going to try to hide that really quick. Didn't do a very good job hiding it. I am behind already. CJ said, Debbie, how are you doing? Dara said, I like the colors. Thank you. Roseanne said, hit those hearts for Stacy. Thank you, Roseanne. I see the hearts. I see them and very much appreciated. CJ said, sorry, been MIA. You throw me off when you're early and I ain't ready. CJ, I was trying to get on here even earlier today, but there was like a guy pressure washing next door. And I thought he stopped a couple hours ago, but it was just a mere break. Because then he started back up and then he kept on going. And I mean, he was like, it was all day. So he just stopped and I was just crossing my fingers that he was stopped for good. Because it would have been too loud in the background for this. I am losing my spot. I'm finding it. Oh, Kat said thumbed up and shared. Thank you, Kat. Tammy said, I missed St. Patrick's Day. I fell asleep. Glad I made it tonight. Me too, Tammy. Yeah, that was Tuesday, right? And then yesterday I ended up missing, which wasn't my intention. I actually thought I was still going to be able to get on here and I was going to do this. I was going to try to do an Easter blossom, but it just wasn't happening. And then I put up the poll to see which one you guys would like to do. I actually still want to do those other 2 eggs also. So we might still do them, but I was just interested to see which one you wanted first. Kat said, loving the spring colors. Thank you. CJ said, I've not done an egg yet. Margaret said, I'm a member. How do I get the kits? So I'm assuming that you're in the digital club. Did you just sign up this month? For getting the kits in the digital club, we don't have any openings right now. I think we're planning to open up the kit version of the club in the fall. I don't know exactly when yet, but I'm pretty sure that's what we're trying for. We also have the Christmas club though, which is Christmas kits all year. And we're opening that in April, I think. I need to check on that. But that's our other kit club if you're interested in kits and if you like Christmas all year. And if you're already a digital member and you decide to upgrade to the kit club in the fall, then we will cancel your digital membership because the kits come with the pattern. Bobby said, organizing my area again, have so much material. That's a good problem to have, though. Hi, Karen. Karen said, hi, Stacy and all of you. I'm watching this with Willow. I think she's waiting for your pups to start their puppy sing-along. They did just bark a second ago. You might have heard it. It wasn't the howl, but it was a bark. She loves her American puppy choir. She's only 9 months, but so loud. Aww. Hi, Willow. Hey, Sally. Thank you for the hearts, you guys. I love it. Christina said, howdy all. Thursday all, so only here for a short. Oh, Thursday is bowling night. Only 3 weeks left. Well, that's sad. Oh, Patty, I hope you start feeling better. CJ said, 'tis the season for cleaning. The weather's warmed up a bit. Yes. It's spring cleaning time. I need to clean my whole back porch. It's covered in pollen. Which is also the reason I sound so stuffy, you guys. The pollen has been just awful. I need to fix that petal. It doesn't look good. Tammy said, how was your son's birthday dinner? It was nice. He left a little early because he went to a friend's house. He had plans with his friends. I had assumed he'd have plans today, and Wednesday it's easier for me to do like extra cooking and stuff, so that's why I made it for last night, even though his birthday is today. But my daughter and her boyfriend ended up hanging out with me for a while, and we started a new show, so that'll be nice, even though I'm not sure about the show. We started watching Fallout, and I love apocalyptic type shows and movies and stuff. So I was really excited about it, but I don't know. I don't know how much I liked it. We only watched the first episode so far, so I guess I'll give it a little bit of time. They said I would love it, and they've already watched all of it. So I don't know. Oops, what am I doing? Wrong color. Kat said, by the way, happy birthday to your son, and I hope that your birthday dinner with him was fun. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm looking for your name because I see the psst, and I don't think you ever told me your name actually. So hi there, happy Thursday. Your egg is really pretty. Looks a bit of a challenge. I've got to try it. This one is just a tiny bit of a challenge. We were talking about that a few minutes ago. Hey, Brenda. Brenda said, I love your colors. Very Eastery. Yeah, these fabrics are very Eastery. We introduced this pattern bundle I think it was 2 weeks ago. And I believe that we still have a few left of this one in the shop. We're coming out with some new ones tomorrow. But we still have a couple of these. Tammy said, boo, ornamenting is much more fun than spring cleaning. I have to agree with that. Deborah said, oh no, I missed most of this. Nope, you didn't miss most of it, Deborah. I'm only on layer 2 on the first side. Haven't been on very long. Is this with the fabric bundle that you have in the shop? Yes, it is, Deborah. And Deborah said, and so cute and good afternoon. Thanks, Deborah. Yeah, this is the bundle that we still have a few of, I believe. I believe we still have it. It was from a few weeks ago. That looks cute so far. I smushed this guy just a little. You can kind of floof your petals a little bit after the fact. The trick is to not like really, when you're like outlining petals like this, you want to not flatten the triangles that are surrounding it too much. Otherwise, you'll smush your petals a little bit too much. Okie dokie. What is the next layer? Oh, let me pull it up. I brought my iPad out just in case I forgot. I think the next one is pyramid folds. Yes. Dana said, what pretty fabrics we are using today. Hello, everyone. Thanks, Dana. Robbie said, Fallout is not for everyone, based on a video game, and it is apocalyptic. Yeah, I love apocalyptic movies, like I said. I tend to not love super violent stuff, like if it's showing lots of gore. The only exception that I have found really to that with shows is I loved The Walking Dead, which I never thought I would. I mean, I was like late to the game with it because I refused to watch it because I didn't want to see any of that stuff. And then I watched one episode and I was completely addicted to it. So I didn't like that about Fallout because it had some gore, but it was like super fake. Like it was almost like a Kill Bill kind of vibe, like that over the top kind of violence so far. So maybe I can handle that. I don't know. But I also don't, it seems like every apocalyptic show jumps from the moment when the apocalypse happens and then it jumps to like 200 years in the future. I want to see the whole 200 years. It makes me so frustrated when these shows jump past all the good stuff. And it seems like every show does it. I had started to watch The Last of Us, like when that came out a couple years ago, I guess. I couldn't get far into that show, but the first episode of it was so good. And I was so excited. And then it did the same thing. It jumped way ahead. I'm like, why would you do that? I want to see the whole thing. Martha. Okay, thank you. Let me write that down. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah, I can't. Sometimes I can still read the username, but yours is hard. Yours is like, psst. It's like, psst, yeah, you. That's funny. So thank you, Martha. That helps a lot. Put that on my trusty list. Hi, Linda. Tammy said, I liked season 1 of Fallout. I haven't watched season 2 yet. I like the video game. I made the Easter blossom a couple of weeks ago, but my fabric was way too busy. Yeah, Tammy, that's exactly. Did you see the one that I showed? Were you here yet when I showed this one? Was my practice run through. And it's just too busy. You really need more simple fabrics with this pattern. But this is like, what a difference, right? This is way more easy on the eyes. And good to know about Fallout. I'm going to give it a fair shot. The guy that's in it that played, I can't remember his name now. He reappeared at the end of the first episode as like a ghoul, but he was in the very beginning. So somehow he has survived 200 years. I guess I need to find out how that happened. But I like him as an actor, so I'm kind of excited about that. I was happy to recognize like one of the actors. Diane said the egg is looking so beautiful. Thank you. Brenda said they are beautiful fabrics. These are they're perfect Easter fabrics, I think. If you're looking for an Easter vibe, this is definitely it. Now, the fabrics that we're coming out with tomorrow, the ones I just showed, that one's called, Olivia named that one Flower Power. That one I think is going to make a cute, like, basic star and simple patterns like that. And I might do that next week. Or even a regular Easter egg. I didn't do a very good job following my lines with this whole section. Hopefully I can bring it back. Let me back up. CJ said anything is more fun than cleaning. That is very true. Robbie said, I watched season 2. I enjoy it. Okay, good to know. I hope that it just doesn't get any more violent than it already is. I'm a weakling when it comes to all that. Robin said, I agree, Tammy. Elizabeth said, I'm new. These ornaments are new to me. What would be a good project to start on? I really like them. Elizabeth, if you go to my channel and go to playlists, you're going to scroll probably down to close to the bottom of the playlist. So one of my first sets of videos, and look for the Basic Star Workshop. That would be what I would recommend that you start with. It's a 3-part video series. It's broken down really slowly. The first video is all your supplies and stuff that you would need. The second video is the basic pattern, and it takes you through it step by step. And then the third video is embellishing. So I would recommend that as a starting point. You're going to learn like the most basic folds. And from there, you can just kind of take your pick. You can start tackling all the other, all the other patterns and folds and things like that. But I feel like that's a really good one to start with because it's simple. It's the same fold throughout the entire thing, and it's easy to follow. Linda said, thank you for showing this pattern. You are very welcome. Oh, and Robbie said basic star. So, okay, yeah. So I'm assuming that's an answer to your question, Elizabeth. Thanks, Robbie. Becky said, my granddaughter's birthday is today. I surprised her yesterday, picked up from school early, lunch, manicures and pedicures, and duck donuts. They are local here and life-changingly delicious. That's amazing, Becky. Happy birthday to your granddaughter. Same birthday as my son. Did I bring that back far enough? Hopefully. The top pieces are always feel way more awkward. Martha said, so lovely. Gotta run for dinner duties. We'll chew fast. Don't chew too fast. Enjoy your dinner. Robbie said, I watched The Walking Dead all the way through and the spin-offs. Robbie, I did not finish the end. Or is it even still going? Is it still going now or is it over? I don't want to I don't know. It's probably way past any time for spoilers, right? So I probably can go ahead and just say the part I stopped at because I was so upset by it. When Carl got bit. And I always said, I'm quitting. I'm quitting the show if something happens to Carl. And I did. I didn't watch it after at all past that. I need to go back to it though because I really did like that show. I think I'm over the pain at this point. I started to watch Fear the Walking Dead and I liked that one a lot in the beginning. And I don't know what happened. I don't know if I just lost interest. It seemed like some of the characters from the first season that were gonna be the main characters, it seemed like it kind of switched and it changed into other characters. But I did like it when I first started watching it. Something knocked me off my path on that one. Kat said, Becky, happy birthday to your grand. Sounds like a fun day was had. It does. And I love donuts. Martha said, got it. We'll probably still be here when you're done because this one's going to take me a while, you guys. This one's a labor of love. Hi, Jeanette. Kate said, I have a question again. Oh, ask all the questions, Kate. They don't bother me. I love the questions. Are we allowed to sell the ornaments that we get in a kit? I mean, after they are made. Yes, of course. Yep, absolutely. Of course. The only thing that we ask, of course, is that you don't sell our patterns because, of course, they're copyrighted. So that's our ask. But anything that you make with a kit or anything you make with our patterns is free game. You made it. You definitely have the right to sell it. Robbie said Walter Goggins, you mean? Yes, that is him. Yeah, he was like the cowboy at the birthday party in the very first episode, and I recognized him because He was in Justified. And my ex-fiance used to watch that show and he loved him. So I didn't ever see that show all the way through, but I remember him from that. He almost looks like he's going to play the same type of character, kind of like that snarky, kind of sarcastic, but funny, but maybe bad kind of character. So I'm looking forward to it. As long as it gets a little less violent, or at least doesn't get worse. I think I'm doing, flip through my ebook here, my trusted ebook. I think we are switching to chevron folds, but the same fabric. This is pretty. I am much happier with these fabrics, you guys, than the other ones that I did. Tammy said, I wasn't here, but I used the 30s Playtime and I've fallen in love with it. It was way too much. I like this one a lot. I might have to try it again. Maybe I'll get my rubber duck fabric back out. I like the 30s Playtime. Are you talking about the mode? It's Moda, right? And it's in their basics. If I'm thinking of the right thing. So when I was making this earlier, I was finding that I had to adjust these chevron folds. On the upper side where you got this like tall part of the egg, you have to veer them out a little more, but here you have to kind of almost just make them like a regular basic triangle. So I'm gonna do that. Dana said, I'm feeling the Easter vibe. Made an Easter ornament this morning using Easter ribbon. Pretty cute. I'm feeling the Easter vibe too. I'm with you. Deborah said, can you show the fabric bundle again coming out? I missed it. So you know what? I didn't actually show the bundle yet, but I have it on my other desk. And I forgot to bring it over here. Give me 1 second and I'll grab it. So this bundle was the one that came out 1 or 2 weeks ago. So these bundles, you guys, are the ones that are coming out tomorrow, and we have 2 different variations of it because we have several of the coordinates. This one is like a real bright, zippy one, and then this one's a little bit more, what's the word that Olivia used? Subdued, but not quite. So these 2 are coming out tomorrow, and I was showing how I did this egg in these fabrics, and it's too busy. Although I think a bow, like all white or all one color, will help tone it down just a bit. But I do think this would look pretty with a regular Easter egg pattern, and then also like a basic star and things like that. So they're pretty and they're zippy, but they're busy. Christina said, I'm still making St. Patrick's Day ornaments until I finish my kits that I've pre-cut. So at least until April 1st, and then I'll start Easter ones. I think that's absolutely fine. I almost, Christina, I'm wishing that I would have made more St. Patty's Day leading up to St. Patty's Day on these lives. I kind of realized, it came up on me really quick, it seemed like. And I was wishing I had done more because I think I only did like 2 on these lives. CJ said basic star is timeless and fun to make. Yes, it is. And I've done quite a few of those on lives too. Elizabeth, you were asking about which pattern to start with. I've done quite a few of those on lives. It's very versatile. You can use, any colors and color schemes, but also you can use ribbon. So there's just so many things you can do with it. Oh, and Elizabeth said, thanks, I'll check the basic star out. Peggy said, missed the very beginning. What size egg are you using? Could you make this on a smaller egg? How would you adapt it? So Peggy, I'm using the 4-inch egg, so it's the large size in our shop, and it did have 8 lines, even though I only started by marking 4 of them. So I think you could adapt this, but you may end up having to adapt out the last layer. And to be honest, I might try to get out of the last layer too, even with this one. And what I mean is, these are supposed to be open chevron folds, and I would have to put a final layer on, but so far I haven't had to do this as a chevron fold. We'll see if I have to up here. And if that's the case, see, there's nothing like, I would be able to actually trim off the excess here and put a band on, and it would look finished. We'll see how the rest of this layer goes, because this one has a lot of layers, and that would be my biggest concern with going on a smaller egg. I may have to go full chevron fold up here. We'll see. And in case you're wondering what I'm talking about, this is a triangle. This is the basic triangle fold. This chevron fold actually is like this. And the point of it is that it covers more ground. Like, you can spread it out further, and if you needed to cover more ground on the sides, you could, but then you always have to cover it with something else, because look, we're seeing the underside of the fabric. In the original version of this pattern, that's what Monica did. She used chevron folds here, but for me, I'm not able to really do that. It's too wide when I do that. So I'm sticking with just triangles, unintentionally. But so far, so good. So I might not need this last layer. I don't really know if I want it, because I like the purple on the outside. Sally said, I would love to make the Dresden egg and poppy in these fabrics. You know what? I would too. That's a great idea. I want to do the Dresden egg soon too. So maybe I might have to go snatch another fabric bundle from Olivia before they sell out. I've already stolen 2 from her. Deborah said, so funny with this talk about Walking Dead and Fallout. My daughter loves those too. I like more period type shows like Downton Abbey and The Gilded Age. I'm too scared to watch those other shows. I know. I never thought I would like The Walking Dead. And actually, my daughter was telling me about Fallout for a while, like the last few weeks, telling me to watch it. And I was like, I don't want to watch it by myself. And she's like, no, you'll love it. So I guess that's why they were like trying to force me when they were here. Now that I started it though, and I have the vibe, I think I'll be fine to watch it by myself. Robbie said, yeah, my kids stopped watching it just before then. It got away from the comic books. So my kids were not in agreement to some of the characters going away. And so the series is finished. It did just get a little whack, right? It was just going out there, you know. It used to be more about like the walkers were the obviously the bad guys. And there was always the character stories too, but it almost got to be where other groups of people were scarier than the zombies. I mean, I guess they ran out of things that the zombies could do. I don't know. It just, yeah. But I was still very attached to some of those characters, and I was very sad when Carl got bit. All right, well, I just made it all the way around, and it looks like I'm able to just do basic triangles on the outside, so I have unintentionally modified this pattern just a touch. But I'll show you guys. The outer layer can be very pretty. It's another layer of pyramid folds. Not the best example to show you, but another layer of pyramid folds would go on top of the layer I'm doing right now. And that is how the original pattern goes. Little lady is Judy. Hi, Judy. Judy said we're going to see Project Hall Mary on Saturday to celebrate my birthday. Well, happy birthday. Linda said, my question is when you do that. Oh, did you get, I think you got cut off, Linda. I'll scroll down and see if I see the rest of your comment. Denise said, oh, looks like I'm pretty late. Not terribly late, Denise. I'm just finishing the first side. So we still have the whole other side to go. We may not get to actual embellishing today because this is a longer one. But tomorrow is finishing Friday. So we could finish it up tomorrow along with a couple angel heads. Tammy said the Moda Tiny Flowers. At least most of what I have from that line is the tiny flowers. I keep venturing over to the quilt shop near Mansfield, Ohio to buy more. I need to stay away. I did remember that the little itty bitty like print on those fabrics. That makes it so good for these ornaments. Those little itty bitty prints. Tammy also said, I am making a flutter egg out of the Moda 30s playtime right now. Number 10 of 18. Oh, you're making progress. Kate said, Stacy, thank you for the info. Won't share the patterns, I promise. Thanks, Kate. And you're very welcome. Christina said, dang it, love those. Deborah said, oh my goodness, love this fabric. Thank you. Robbie said those are cute. I know this is from when I was showing the bundles. I'm just that behind. Tammy said, I had some St. Patrick's Day hanging in my cubicle at work. I took them down yesterday and replaced them with spring and Easter. It's that time. Springy, Eastery. Look how off my line up at the top here is not acceptable. I can't bear it. I gotta fix it. We need to straighten this out just a touch. That's what we drew lines for. If that had been one of the side ones, I wouldn't have worried that much, but this thing is going to be hanging straight up and down if I decide to put a bow on it. And then that line going off to the side would have been way too obvious. Rebecca said, please hit the like button. Stacy Ann is so good to all of us. She deserves a thumbs up from all of us. Rebecca, thank you very much. That is so sweet of you to say. I appreciate the thumbs up and I appreciate you guys watching. This would not be happening if you guys weren't hanging out with me. Peggy said, that's kind of what I was thinking. I do like the smaller eggs though. Peggy, I think you said that before. I remember you saying that you didn't really like the larger ones as much. I'm feeling like you could do this by leaving off that last layer. I think the medium egg is only 1/2 inch smaller. It seems to be a big difference when you're actually like on the finished egg, but I think you'd probably be fine with following this pattern, almost like it is. Tammy said, once you master the basic star, she has a variation that adds a new fold on YouTube called the Sunburst. That's fairly easy. Yes, that's true. Once you get done with the basic star, we have quite a few kind of basic patterns that you could play with that are right here on YouTube. So not even anything that you have to go buy. You could follow those YouTube tutorials. And then once you get properly addicted, then you can visit the shop and get some patterns in the shop. Debbie said, Rebecca, I totally agree. She's so generous with her time and fabulous about answering all the questions. Smash the like button for Stacy. Thank you, Debbie. You guys are very, very kind. Thank you. Patty said, Stacy, what pattern uses a 3.5 inch hemi? I need to divide the round side into segments for the flutter fold. What pattern uses a 3.5 inch hemi? We actually have quite a few in the artist collection that uses that, and also quite a few here on YouTube. Let me check. I'm pretty sure. Give me 1 second. Let me just go to the channel. Playlist. this. I'm going to the Ornament Workshops playlist on the channel. Okay. The Tiered Heart uses the 3.5 inch. I'm pretty sure the Oh Christmas Tree uses the 3.5 inch. The Spider, the Looped Ribbon Tree. These are just the ones here on YouTube. But if you go to the artist collection page on the website, there's more there as well. But let me go back to your original comment, because you said you have to divide the round side into segments. So is that why you're asking, or were you wanting a pattern? Because we do have a template for dividing the round side into segments. And that is on the site. Let me find it. Okay, so if you go to the marking a hemi into 12 segments, you can use that, but only use half of the segments. Don't do all 12, just do 6. Does that make sense? I'm going to give you a link to this in the chat. You guys, thank you for your patience while I'm looking this up. I just put that in the chat for you, Patty. Rebecca said that egg is so beautiful. Love the colors. Thanks, Rebecca. Robbie said, I think you'll be fine. Are you talking about the show? Shirley said, looks beautiful. Tammy said, I stopped watching when they killed Glenn off. That was rough too. Deborah said, I do love the Hunger Games along with the books and prequels. So maybe I'll look into that show. I watched the zombie movie with Brad Pitt and I was a basket case. I liked that one, actually. That one, I was nervous with that one too, because it was more creepy than gory. You know, it was more scary than gory, but I thought it was pretty good. I liked it. It was like World War Z or something like that. I do like zombie stuff. But some of them are scary. Robbie said, yeah, that's when my kids stopped watching. I kept going. Denise said, I love that pattern is the center petal folds. Yes, it sure is, Denise. Doing them right now. With this one, I got to make sure I pin low enough so that the pin gets hidden on the next layer. Robin said, very pretty and love the fabric. Thanks, Robin. Deborah said, I made the little cutout Easter bunnies yesterday. That was in the Inspire email. But then today I made the sunny snowman. Hey, you got to change it up, right? Hey, Brian. Oh, yes. Robbie said Trinity Knot is a good one. That is a good one. It's a good beginner one. And Parasol would be another one that I would recommend. It's like a good one for just all around versatility, and you can use it with other patterns, either Trinity Knot or Parasol. Brian said, wonderful fabric. Easter is coming. Yes, it is. I don't think I still have my Easter egg up here. Oh, wait. I think I did keep it up here. Where did I put it? Remember I used this fabric 2 weeks ago or so to do a regular Easter egg? I say regular. It's like the basic Easter egg pattern. And it's here on YouTube. But it came out really pretty too. These are great fabrics for Easter. Debbie said that egg is stunning. Thank you, Debbie. Linda said, when you make the pyramid fold, what part of the tiny triangle do you line up with the center line? So I try to line it up the center of that tiny triangle. I try to center that on the center line. But I will try to demonstrate that a little bit better when I get to my third layer, which is, I think, the layer of pyramid folds. Thanks, Robbie. I get so behind, it's hard for me to remember. Then when I read a comment, I'm like, oh, was that from that? CJ said the original Hunger Games was good. Haven't seen the new stuff. I haven't either, and I didn't even see all the original ones. I read the first couple books in the Hunger Games, and I really liked them. I don't remember why I stopped. I don't think I finished the last one. And I think I only saw... Gosh, did I even see the first one? I thought I did. I thought I saw the first one. The first movie. With what's her name? Years ago. CJ said I just read that one. Robin said, I'm not a fan of zombies. My daughter isn't either. She's like, they're terrifying. Patty said, thank you, Stacy. That's what I'm needing to mark into 6 segments. Okay, good. Tammy said, when we first got married, my husband was a delivery driver for Airborne Express. Butler, PA was his route. Made him go past the house and cemetery from the original Night of the Living Dead daily. He loves zombie movies, so that was the highlight of the job. That's cool. Deborah said, CJ, read the new books first. You get the story of President Snow, and then the latest ones you get Hammock's story. Love the original Hunger Games too, but the prequel books and movies are good. You know, I don't even know that I knew that there was prequels out now. That's cool. CJ said, Tammy, it's more scare when you can see stuff like that, but I'm a wimp for sure. I just love apocalyptic stuff. I love, like, if it's like a weather event or nukes, which is terrifying. That's something that terrifies me more than pretty much anything else. But also I can't look away, like movies about it. It just draws me in. I read a book last year and it was like, what's it called? I think it's just called Nuclear War or something like that. And it was like a scenario of if a nuke went off somewhere and just what would happen, you know, because the whole world, we'd be done. We'd be cooked. Terrifying. Trying to find where I left off. CJ said, don't do scary, but I love Save the World movies. Linda said, thank you. That's what I was having problems with. Okay, you're welcome. I will show you in more detail when we get there, so not too far away. Let me fix this guy a little bit. I'm not happy with that one. I want to make sure it stays fluffy. Sometimes it's, if you flatten them too much and then you go to put your next layer on, they get way too flattened and you have to work harder to fluff them up. So I'm trying my best to keep them fluffy now. CJ said, I made my husband read The Hunger Games because I needed to talk to someone about what was going on. Yeah, it's Jennifer Lawrence. That's right. CJ said, Deborah, I sure will. Thanks for the heads up. Deborah said, oh, so that's how you make the flower in the center. Very cool. I need to get this pattern. This egg is gorgeous. Thanks, Deborah. Trying to make sure I line up my first side, my second side with the first side. Christy said, I love scary movies. It's too bad they put all this scary stuff in the previews. Yeah, I agree. Judy said, you would like Project Hail Mary then. It's on Audible. I'll have to look that up. I've never heard of that. CJ said, God forbid, nuclear or anything. But if it happens, I need it to land on me. I don't want to suffer. I know, for real. That is like, that's legit. Like, if it's going to happen, it needs to be happening like in the front yard, because anything else is the worst. It's all the worst. But that would be, ugh. Tammy said, my husband and son make me watch end of the world disasters. I make them watch Hallmark movies at Christmas in return. I think that is a very fair trade. Karen said, that's gorgeous. The fabrics that you have in America are superior to what we have in the UK. I so wish that we could get the same beautiful fabric here. I wish that for you too, Karen. I've heard that before and I've heard the same about Canada too. It seems like shipping's just getting worse and worse and worse. Deborah said, the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, President Snow's story, and Sunrise of the Reaping is Hammock's story. Am I saying that name right? Because I don't remember the name. Oh, Christina said, okay, gotta go change. See you tomorrow. Enjoy your evening, Christina, and have fun. Peggy said, I was born in 1957, so it was the thick of the Cold War. Planes flying overhead were not the norm then. Every time I heard one, I was terrified that it was the Russians ready to drop the big one. That is terrifying. Never knowing, always feeling like it's on the cusp. CJ said, is that the first two to read of the new ones? Oh, okay. That's what you had mentioned up above, the book. Deborah said, I made my husband read them too. Tammy said, I have to go check my porch. According to Amazon, my gold pins were delivered. Oh, I want to hear how they are. Where did you end up getting them from? We're always on the lookout for gold pin sources. CJ said, Deborah, I'm glad I'm not the only one. Hey, Mitch. Okay, thank you, CJ. Appreciate the pronunciations, you guys. It's Spacey Stacy over here. Oh, good. Tammy said, they're the good pins. Hi, Michelle. Michelle said, hi, all. Late today. A friend of mine wants me to make a Ukrainian egg for her husband's grandmother. Any pattern ideas? Other than adapting any pattern to the colors, anybody else have any ideas for that? CJ said, gotta run, dinner time. Have a great evening and still love you all. Aw, have a great dinner, CJ. We might still be on by the time that you're done. Robin said, Peggy, we used to have drills where the alarm would go off at school and we would get dismissed. Tammy said it won't post as a link, but those are them if you copy and paste. I don't know why it won't let links come through in the chat. Kate said, when I was very young, I used to visit my sister in Cleveland, Ohio. Every week they had air raid warning practice. Scary to a West Virginia kid from the country. The problem with any kind of nuke anywhere is it would set off a chain reaction and the whole world would be nuked by like 24 hours into it. It would be horrific. But I gotta find out how the guy survived 219 years, because like I believe there can be survivors, but that doesn't suddenly mean their lifespan increases to 219 years, right? So that part wasn't making sense to me just yet, but it was only the first episode, so I guess we'll find out. Peggy said, we did too. I still remember the fallout shelters in the basement. Kate said, a Ukrainian egg would be pretty in blue and yellow. I'm thinking like any pattern adapted to the colors could work. I'm just wondering, like, I can't think off the top of my head what would be a pattern that would maybe look more the way that you want it to look. I got to think about that. But yeah, if anybody else has any ideas, you guys, my allergies drive me crazy. I have to like blow my nose. Sorry. I'm not going to blow my nose. I'm just going to wipe my nose. We're all friends here, right, you guys? Deborah said, I did not even know about the Hunger Games books. Some teachers were talking about them, and I thought it had something to do with food, like a weight loss challenge. Barb said, I remember the drills at school when they'd have us hide under our desks and cover our heads. That would work. Yeah, right. You're just going to get up under your desk and be safe. Christy said, Michelle, I've gotten some fabric with Ukrainian eggs on them. Try a Google search. This piece of fabric has seen better days, hasn't it? I'm really going to try to pull that wrinkle out so it doesn't show. And next layer, you guys, is the pyramid folds again. Okay. So the pyramid fold is actually a variation of the prism fold. So I always pin a little bit left of center because just like with the prism fold, and we have oh, I forgot a piece. No, I didn't. Okay. I thought I forgot a piece. So just like we've talked about this before, but I like to give it a little extra length on the right side so that it can stretch further. So that's the first thing about doing a pyramid fold. And we'll start right here. So it starts just like the prism fold. So you can make it as wide or as narrow as you want to. And then when you do this little fold back part, and this is that sliver you were talking about with the tiny triangle below, this I want to keep centered. So whatever I'm trying to line up the center of that fold with, prism fold, pyramid fold, then that is what I want to be centered. In this case, it would be with the lines on the egg. And also in this case, it would be with the same piece on the opposite side, since I've already done side one. And that's where you want to kind of line it. If you're feeling like it's too wide, you can actually make this skinnier the same way that you make a prism fold skinnier, by folding in the pieces even more. And then you'll have a thinner triangle in the center. So hopefully that made sense. I actually like the width I already had, so I'm going to go back to that. I kind of like this layer to be just a touch wider because we're covering a wide space, especially on like certain parts of the egg, like the top and the bottom. So hopefully that made sense. Let me back up. Tammy said, I grew up within 5 miles of a nuclear power plant. They had siren tests weekly. I mean, I guess at that point, you're probably almost tuning it out, right? Which is scary in itself. Robbie said the one that you're making now, but you do almost anything. Are you talking the color of the flag or black, white, and red? I've done many in that colorway. So this one you're thinking would be good. I read that when Kate said, I have no doubt, Tammy, that would be scary for you. Tammy said the ghoul did not make it into the vault. The radiation is what turned him into the ghoul, which game lore does increase the lifespan. Ah, okay. Can also affect mental faculties. Some ghouls are feral. Okay. I was getting that there was some kind of thing with at the end of the episode because they were like those guys that dug him up were scared to dig him up, you know, which I guess turns out that they were right to be. But I was like, I you know, they haven't like told any reason behind any of it yet. It's like they ended on that cliffhanger that, oh, he's alive. Anne Marie said, I ordered some gold pins on Amazon too, but not coming until the 23rd. There's a product called Rub and Buff. I wonder if we could smudge our silver pinheads with this for a solution. I don't know, maybe. Hi, Georgianne. Deborah said, I was thinking today about how people in Israel are constantly having to go to bomb shelters, and I was thinking, what will we do in Florida? There's no shelters. I know, there's no going underground here. We're cooked. That's what we do. We just be cooked. Michelle said, maybe, Anne-Marie, if you let the rub and buff dry overnight. Robbie said, I have quite a few black, red, and white ornaments. Tammy said, I love black, white, and red. You know what's funny? I was just about to say, Tammy, my Tammy here at work, she loves those colors too. And Robbie said, me too. Deborah said, I love red, black, and white. Thank you, Nancy T. Nancy said, this egg is so pretty. Robbie said, and you could make so many ornaments in that colorway. Yep, 100%. Anne-Marie said, that's what I was thinking. Michelle. Brian said, so with the pyramid fold, you can make the triangle either thinner or wider. Yes. Yep, you sure can. It's kind of like, it depends on what you're trying to cover from below. If you're trying to squeeze it in, you want to make it thinner. If you're trying to cover a wide space, which I am here, because the layer below is pretty wide, then you can go a little wider. And like here, to go wider, I'm not folding as much on an angle. The more on an angle that you fold, the skinnier of a triangle that you're going to end up with. And you could even fold back less. Okay, so I'm folding back to the middle, and that's where I like this to sit. But let's say you wanted the triangle to be the size that it is here, but you still wanted this sliver to be smaller. You can adjust that too. You can actually take this whole thing and move it. So, because remember, the bottom of this isn't going to show. So if it looks a little uneven, see, if I did this, if it looked a little bit uneven down there now, that's what's going to show. So you can absolutely play with this. and kind of make it do what you need it to do depending on what you're trying to cover from the layer below. I actually want to move this up just a touch. It's the prism fold, but with that extra little fold back. Debbie said, sorry, did Tammy say where she got her gold pins from online? Tammy tried to post it, but you know what, Tammy, it did not come through. Can you just maybe tell us the site you got it? The link didn't come through, but also I think you were going to put something else, but that didn't come through either. It won't even post for us, Tammy. Tammy said if you copy and paste that in a new tab, it'll open. So it's on Amazon. Okay. It won't even show your comment at all. Barbara said, I love your egg. I have the same colors cut and ready for that same egg. Someone asked about Tamari in one of the replays. I do Tamari. Have to go. That was Brian that said he did Tamari. Have to go. Needed next door. Have a good night to all OGs. You too, Barbara. Wasn't that you, Brian, that does the Tamari? Tammy said 100 count gold pins. Oh, okay. So if you guys copy and paste what Tammy just put, you might be able to find it in the search. I'm copying it too, Tammy. I want to see. Thank you for that. Yes, there they are. $7.55. 100 count gold pins, pearlized. They do look like the good ones. Thank you. You guys, I think I can post this link. Hold on one second. It lets me post the link. It just won't let you guys post the link. Oh, it won't let me either. Oh. Come on, Amazon. Come on, YouTube. I'm going to see if just the beginning part of this link works without the whole thing. There's like a whole big extra that I don't think needs to be there. Okay. I shortened it a little bit. Yeah, that was really long. Here we go. Let's try this. Okay, there it goes. Oh, Tammy said you might be able to post the link. Thanks, Tammy. Yes. I think it worked. You might want to verify, Tammy, that that was the right one, because I did the search real quick and I picked what I think was the right one. So let me know if that was it or if it wasn't. It looks like the nice gold metallic pins though. Anne Marie said I only saw one set on Amazon. The rest were all jewelry pins without a point. Shouldn't be too hard to find them. Brian said, yes, I do the Tamari. I will send you a picture of some of my collection. I would love that. Tammy said, yes, that's them. You're welcome. Tammy is the gold, the metallic pearl pin hero. Tammy said, I just did. Yes, those are the ones that I ordered. The box was broken, so I'm moving them to another box now. Those used to be, back in the day, when I made ornaments and sold them finished only before I was doing patterns and kits and stuff, I used to almost exclusively use those gold and silver pins for the tops of my ornaments. Because I was doing mostly like Christmas ribbon ornaments, and those were always the perfect thing for putting on the hanger and stuff. And they just have disappeared from the stores. Deborah said, yes, I clicked on the link. Thank you, Tammy and Stacy. Diane said it worked when I clicked the link. Yay, I'm so glad. Thank you again to Tammy for that. And Becky said the links will go to for the good pins. I know. It makes a big difference. No one wants crappy pins. I feel like I've been a little zoned out while I was making this. I'm like, I think I should go back and check all the pieces and make sure I put them all on right. I think it looks okay. I was definitely zoning out on this last couple of layers while we were chatting. Diane said, thank you. Tammy said, I love these pins. Glad I could share eventually. We are glad too, Tammy. Robbie said, thank you both for sure. Peggy said, I like the pearl head pins because you can't see the pin heads. Yeah, I know. I agree. They're great for that, and they're longer, so it's great for putting the hanger on the top, where that extra length can mean the difference between the hanger popping out or not. So it's very helpful. And I love the shiny metallic, because there's some gold pins out there that are not that shiny metallic, and they just look cheesy compared to that pretty gold. Brian said the pyramid fold works with either a busy fabric or a solid color. Yeah, it really does. So I used it on this, ignore how this didn't turn out very good, but this was the busier fabric. And I used it both in this third layer with the flowers. Super busy, but it's still, like, the fold itself is pretty. The whole of this is too much. But the fold itself is pretty. And then I used it again. I did the outer layer on this one, which I did not do here. But this is also a busy fabric on the outer layer, and I did the pyramid fold here as well. So it definitely works for lots of different fabrics. Okay, so we have one more layer, and that's going to be, since I only did basic triangles on the other side, I'm going to try to get away with basic triangles here. I think I will be able to. Otherwise, we have to add another layer to both sides, guys. Tracy said, thank you so much for sharing. Kat said, I thought it was the gold flathead pins that are hard to find, especially long ones. Those are hard to find also, Kat, in bulk particularly. You can get small packs of gold sequin pins here and there, I mean, in most craft stores and stuff, but getting good bulk, like good quality gold pins has been a thing. Tammy said, I have found with eggs that corsage pins work better for hangers. That's a good tip too. The corsage pins have a thicker like shaft on them, so they will hold better, and eggs are heavy, so it's kind of like nice to have that extra hold and that extra length. Debbie said, thank you. I just checked out the link. So great being able to network with you girls for resources to support our hobby. I agree, Debbie. Anne-Marie said, oh, okay, I thought you were all talking about the gold sequin pins with the flatheads. We have talked about those a lot, so sorry for the confusion. The flathead gold pins too are hard. The source that I have for those, you guys, and that's the ones I've been using most of the time on these lives. It's this one. We've been buying them from Cartwrights, which is a sequin company. That's where we've been getting them lately, but somebody did mention that they'd gotten them from Wawak, but I can't find them there. So I don't know if they were only available in certain places or what. Michelle said, do you use Temu in the United States? I haven't ordered from Temu, but I know people who have. Tammy said, I have used Temu and I have ordered gold pins there, but I haven't been able to find them recently. Tammy said, Anne-Marie, if you're near Hobby Lobby, they sell the 3/4 inch gold sequin pins with sequins, not sewing. That's a good tip also, to look where the sequins are instead of where sewing notions are. Hi, Susan. Susan said, I just clicked the link and it took me right to the Amazon page. That's great. That's great. Peggy said, if the triangle fold works out on the second side, maybe bring in the green as the band. I could. I kind of like the purple, but I like all the colors. I also have a couple of trims that I got out. I have another pile of stuff I need to put away that got dug out of the shop, which is like kind of unfortunate, but also fortunate. I'm like, more stuff to put away. I just got all that ribbon put away like, what, 2 weeks ago? However, there's some pretty trims too. So whatever color I end up putting on the outside, I might put a trim on top. We're going to see. Michelle said, sadly, we don't have Hobby Lobby in Canada. Kat said, I once ordered pins and they were a really good price, but guess what? They were not even metal. When I dropped some, the magnet wand wouldn't even pick them up. Gives credence to, you get what you pay for. Yeah. And with some of the pearl head pins, going back to the pearl head pins, they have like some of them have plastic tips, or pearls, I guess, which wouldn't even bother me that much, but they break off so easily that it's almost like worthless. Or if they don't have a point, and it's like, okay, they're supposed to have a point, but they just don't because they're so crummy. And you're not gonna get through 3 layers of ribbons on the top and a band and a hanger if you don't have a good point. Peggy said Temu can really be hit or miss, and it's sometimes hard to return things. I've heard that. Anne-Marie said, I do have Hobby Lobby. I'll check there. Thank you. We have 2 more to go. Michelle said someone had mentioned gold sequin pins by Loops and Threads available at Michael's. I checked and they are available on Michael's Canada site. That's good to know. So for those of you guys in Canada, check out Michael's, the Loops and Threads brand, which I think is like their internal brand, right? Shirley said, could you put another layer if you wanted to use the turquoise color also? Yes, Shirley, I actually left off the outer layer. So on this example, the purple that I did here is the same as the flowers here. So all those flower pieces is the purple layer here, and this pink is a whole additional layer that I did not put on this one. So yeah, I could totally do that. I could add on the green. When I got done the first layer, I was like, well, I don't absolutely have to. And I like the purple. But honestly, I mean, you could totally add on extra layers, and with Easter eggs you can get away with getting really colorful. And that extra layer, by the way, is an extra layer of pyramid folds. But I don't think you'd have to. If you wanted to make it a little bit simpler, you could do a prism fold, anything that wound up a little bit skinnier in size than what this basic triangle is below it. I think that does it for that layer. You always want to be really careful, you guys, when you're trimming, especially with something so busy as this, because there's lots of opportunity to accidentally stick the ends of your scissors into your previous layers and cut something that you don't intend to cut. A wonky pedal there. Okay. Kat said, I've seen some Temu reviews and they were horrible. Just a bunch of crap. I think my daughter's bought a few things from Temu and it's like hit or miss. Something she really liked, something she didn't, but it is all kind of cheap. Peggy said, also need to be careful using the Temu app. They've been accused of stealing your personal info. Yeah, I mean, that's almost every app these days, right? Not to sound like a negative Nancy, but like, I feel like everything that we do, our info is being stolen all over the place. Like, our phones are listening to us. YouTube is tracking everything you do. Kat said, I just never thought that pins were not metal. Now I pay attention to them being stainless steel, and if the description doesn't say, I skip it entirely. Yeah, I never knew that either until coming across finally something really crummy. There's just so much opportunity out there for cheap stuff, you know, cheap stuff, easy to get, easy to order. Patty said, Walmart ships to you Cousin DIY polished. Okay, that's what it's called. I've never used them, so I can't tell you what they're like. Cousin is a good brand. In fact, those gold pins at Cartwright's might be Cousin, but I'm not 100% sure about that. But I think Cousin is a decent brand. Georgianne said, question, do you think that there'll be extra jasmine kits for sale? What is today, the 19th? I think there are a few. I don't think there's a ton of them, but I think there are going to be a few. And I think that they come out tomorrow or Saturday, actually. So check the shop tomorrow morning. I'm looking out the window because I just realized that my daughter's walking by. Her and her boyfriend are on a walk. They're walking by. Tammy said, Kat, yeah, when I first started, I ordered pins off Amazon that turned out to be aluminum, and I spilled them on the floor. Aluminum is not magnetic. You find out the hard way. Christy said, Patty, I checked those from Walmart, and they don't have points. Oh, okay. Thank you for letting us know. What good is a pin without a point? Tammy said, my Jasmine made it to Columbus and then detoured to St. Henry back on the Indiana state line. I keep watching the post office. It's your kids are always taking the scenic route. What in the world? I think it's your postal people that are taking the scenic route. They're like wanting to just travel around. So you guys, let me show you what it would look like if you added this extra layer really quick. I don't think I'm going to do it all the way around, but just to see, just to show you. You would put it on top of the layers that you did these basic triangles. And I'm going to pin a little left of center because this is going to be another pyramid fold just like we did a layer ago. Ooh, really, you're pushing through some layers now at this point too, you guys. So I want to make this thinner, okay? I want to make it a little bit on the thinner side because I want the purple to show through on the outside and then flip back that side again. Okay, so here's what this would look like. And you would do it on all 6 of the basic triangles. Well, gosh, that's pretty, isn't it? I'm trying to make a decision. I feel like I don't know if I have it in me to do 2 more whole layers. I also do like the green with it. And I could maybe get that look with just, oh, you guys. It's pretty, isn't it? Am I going to have to do this? Georgianne said, thank you. I've been checking every day. I'm pretty sure tomorrow, Georgianne. I hope I'm right. I hope I'm right. I want to say it's around the 20th every month. I skipped you, Deborah. Sorry. Deborah said the gold pins that I ordered from Amazon did not have points. They look like little nails. That is a bummer. Tammy said the post office hates me. Tammy also said I did make a jasmine with pink, turquoise, and green grunge. Ooh, that sounds pretty. I like the grunge fabrics. Peggy said the ones without points are called head pins. They're used in jewelry making. Okay. That I do know about head pins. I've used those. But I mean, I would think that those would be marketed differently completely, right? Like not as pins, but I guess they are called pins. Tammy said pretty with the extra layer. Barb said pretty. Georgianne said pretty with the extra layer. Louise said pretty with that. Kat said do it. Okay, guys. Okay. We're not going to finish this one tonight. We're going to have to finish it tomorrow for finishing Friday. At least tomorrow's Friday. We'll do the embellishing tomorrow, you guys, and we might do an angel head. I got to get these angels back down to the shop. They want their heads. Deborah said it's pretty with the green, do it. Debbie said, oh yeah. Shirley said, love it. All right, you guys talked me into it. You talked me into it. It is pretty with the green. I might need to use some of my extra fabric here to help me push this in though, because it's getting tough at this point. The green is brightening it up. You know what would be pretty for the band? I cut one of each one because I wasn't sure which one I would use. And I'm thinking the polka dots might be cute for the band. But I kind of got off subject before. I had a couple of trims out over here. Look at this one that I found. I probably got this at Hobby Lobby. It says right on it, Hobby Lobby. And this is really pretty. It's almost got a little bit of like sparkle to it. So I think that this might look pretty over top of a solid color. Maybe I'll go back to, I don't know. We can figure that out later. One step at a time. Shirley said, love it. Nancy T said, pretty with the green. Diane said, yes. Robbie said, it's very pretty. Oh, yes, I know. Tammy, I do have to get more halos. I actually just thought of that 1 second ago when I was talking about the angels. I was like, I need to get more halos because I stole one. And some of them are already missing some anyway, so. Yes. Peg, you said don't forget to replace the halo that you pinched from poor Aquamarine. She's looking at me right now angrily like, you took my halo and I still don't have one back. Tammy said purple with the trim. That might be pretty. I'm thinking even though the dots would be pretty as a band on its own, I don't think that would be the best with the trim on top because it's more busy. So yeah, maybe doing purple and then the pink trim, or even pink with the pink trim might be pretty too. Barb said, love that trim. And Kat said, oh, that trim is pretty, yeah, over a solid. I think I will try pinning through this first and then pinning through. Luckily, these layers are all 6 pieces each instead of 8. So that's helping. They're not, it doesn't take so long to get through a layer. Deborah said, I love that trim. Debbie said, love that trim. Kat said, I think the aqua with the trim. Kate said pink with the pink trim would be very pretty. I honestly don't know that we could go wrong with any of the colors. They'll probably all be really pretty. So see that right there? That little edge of raw fabric? That's what happens when you don't fold over enough. But I'm in a little bit of a tight spot with this one because I also need it to reach, like the bottom edge needs to reach. And if I would have folded over more, this wouldn't have even reached my middle. And so I think I'm gonna just try to strike this happy medium. And when I fold this back, I wanna make sure that it's at least where I think my band will cover. I can take into account that I'm gonna have a band here. It is also the top of the egg, so I'm gonna have a little extra leeway there too, because if I put a bow up here, that's gonna help hide stuff. But just something to keep in mind. The less you fold that top edge over for a prism fold, or for a pyramid fold like this, you have more of a chance of a raw edge trying to peek out. But the more you fold over, the downside is that you have less reach. Anne Marie said, adding the green looks pretty. I also love the trim. This is definitely some Easter vibes, you guys. When I held up that green piece, that was my downfall. As soon as I held it up, I was like, oh no, it's actually pretty. Tammy said, Factory Direct Crafts has 3/4 inch gold sequin pins, $2.09 for 300 pieces. Stainless steel. Looks like they do international shipping, and not sure what the shipping prices are like. So with gold sequin pins, 300 pieces would last you a little while, because I mean, for me anyway, I typically only use the gold pins for embellishing. I don't use them for like pinning fabric or anything, unless it's going to be one of those pin heads that shows in the end. So the 300, it wouldn't be enough for like bulk, but it would be good for embellishing. Okay, so I think I finished that side. I also got to figure out what I'm going to decorate this with. I have flower sequins. I have white AB flower sequins, which could be cute with a pretty bead maybe. That could be cute. Louise said gorgeous. Thank you, Louise. Martha's back. Martha said, holy cow, I made it back in time. I know. I had a feeling. This one's a labor of love. We're in it to win it with this one, you guys. Kat said, hippity hoppity, Easter's on its way. Georgianne said, thank you for the tip. That was happening yesterday with the jasmine pattern I did with the red, white, and blue. Yeah, sometimes you gotta find that happy medium. The eggs can be a little awkward with that because it's like it's different on the side than it is at the bottom, than it is on the bottom and top, because the bottom and top are like a longer stretch. So eggs can be weird like that, and especially if it's like your first time making one of these, I would recommend doing a ball pattern before you did an egg pattern, just for that exact reason, so that you can like stay more consistent and learn the technique before you start messing with weird shapes and stuff. Deborah said so pretty. Thank you, Deborah. Debbie said Kat, sing it. Kat said love it, so pretty. Tammy said that's so pretty. Who is the person that said do the green layer, like first said you could you add the green layer on? Was it Louise? Brian said the final layer really brings the egg to life. Patty said, how embarrassing. Well, at least I know what a head pin is now. I don't think it should be called a pin. Tammy said, I do think I like the basic stars better than the chevron folds. Oh, yeah, the basic triangle. I do too. I didn't have a choice. I couldn't spread them out on that layer or it would have covered too much of the layer below. So I'm not sure where I went wrong, and it could be that I didn't measure. I mean, you guys saw that I didn't measure properly. I don't think I used my tape the entire time. So I may have gotten my placement just off enough that I wasn't able to use the chevron fold in that fourth layer. But it worked out. We could have stopped after that layer because of the basic triangles. Patty said the egg is so pretty. Louise said, not me. Oh, it was Shirley. That's right. Shirley, you're responsible. Tammy said, I really need to make another one now. Oh, good. I'm glad it inspired you. So here's the one where I have to make it reach. Okay. I got it on that side. That side I didn't have a hard time. Roseanne said, so pretty, Stacy. Thank you, Roseanne. And thank you for the hearts. Christy said, I think it was Shirley that suggested the aqua layer. Shirley's waving. She's like, it's me. Only 2 more to go. 1.5 more to go. That's a little messy, but you know what? That'll all get covered by the band. So I feel like I need to do more ornaments with these fabrics, and I do have plenty of 2x3s cut out here. So maybe we'll do, I already did a basic star egg with these a couple weeks ago, whenever that was. So maybe a basic star or like a sunburst or something like that would be pretty. And I still have the Dresden egg that I would like to do with you guys, and the spiral. The Dresden doesn't use 2x3s, I don't think, or at least not Yeah, I'm pretty sure Dresden does not use 2x3s, but you know what? Spiral does. So I might have enough to do the spiral egg with these fabrics. I think I need 5 colors for the spiral. I have to look at that pattern again. It's been a long time since I did that one. Shirley said it's my favorite color. Okay. We made it, you guys. We got to be going on 2 hours. How long are we going? I don't see, it doesn't show me what, oh, 1 hour and 46 minutes. We're making up for yesterday. Okay. All right, guys, now we need to make the decision. Yeah, and Christy said, now you need to lay the 3 solid colors next to each other and put the trim on top, and then we can vote on the band. All right, that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to put a poll. Peggy said spiral would be pretty in those fabrics. We're going to do a poll. Oh, I need to figure out how to... There's got to be other things besides yes and no. Oh, I can change it. You learn something new every day, you guys. Which color for the band? All right, we're going to do pink, aqua, purple. But hold on, I'm going to post this, but wait 1 second because I'm going to show that pink trim. I'm going to show you guys what it looks like, okay? So, we have purple, let's do it right. We'll do it right. Okay. Here is purple with the pink trim. I am having this feeling like, and don't let this sway you guys, I'm having a feeling that aqua is going to be the one because it's the last outer layer and I feel like it's going to blend nicely. However, pink is pretty too. Here's pink. And last but not least, the fabric that was almost not used at all. Aqua and pink. Martha said, I make quilts, usually gifts to mark a special time. I'd like to make a gifty ornament in the same fabrics as a keepsake for the recipient. I'm so glad I found your ornaments here, Stacy. That's such a good idea. There's a lot of people that are in our group that do that take the scraps from their quilts that they make as gifts or make for themselves or whatever and make a matching ornament with it. We love that idea. Tammy said purple band and then pink trim. Kat said aqua band and trim. Robbie said purple with pink trim that you showed us would be pretty. Hey, Gretchen. Gretchen said catching the replay and that ornament is gorgeous. Can we buy that pattern? Gretchen, I can't remember if you joined the club. It is available only for club members. It came out in March 2019, but if you're in the club, yes, you can go back and buy it. Tammy said purple, pink hearts. Kathy said purple and pink. Robbie said, I made the spiral egg. I enjoyed it following the ebook. You know what? It's funny. Yesterday, I went looking back at those 3 patterns to find the pictures to put on the poll that I put up. And I realized that that one was so old because I think we did that one in like March 2016 or 2017. 2017, maybe. There's no video. So we need to make a video for that. And that was like an old ebook too. Kate said pink with pink trim. Kat said I voted aqua, but now I say purple and pink trim. Nancy said aqua with pink trim. So it looks like purple's winning on the poll, guys. Roseanne had put purple hearts. Hi, Jenny. Jenny said hello, everyone, coming in late. Martha said aqua and pink. And Debbie said purple with pink. So far, I'm seeing purple as the winner. I'll start folding unless something drastic happens. Purple with pink trim is what I voted. Deborah said. Linda said I've done that. I've done that, giving an ornament to match the quilt. If you do that, Martha, take a picture and with your quilt and your ornament beside it. We would love to see. Deborah said, but aqua is pretty too. Really, they all are. Purple is my favorite color. They are all pretty. I feel like you can't really go wrong with any of these colors. Purple is slowly dropping in the poll. It went down by 1%, you guys. Linda said purple and pink. We're going to go with purple unless something drastic happens. The purple is bringing out that 3rd and 4th layer, which is also nice. That band was a satisfying band to put on. It just seemed to really wrap really nicely. Brian said there's not a wrong choice here. I actually went with pink. I agree. There's not a wrong choice. They're all pretty. We could also like pull out the pink a little bit more too with whatever we decide to embellish with. Well, plus the pink trim, of course, is going to help pull out that pink as well. Putting a bow up on the top of this thing is going to be a beast. Robbie said, thinking the same thing, they're all pretty. Oh, Tammy said, I think the purple brings out the next to the last layer. Robbie said pretty. Tony said purple and pink. Robbie said still purple for me. Robin with a Y said, finish the twister kit from November while enjoying this peaceful pinning. Awesome. I'm happy to hear that. I love it when you guys are making them along with me. Twister's a fun pattern. That's one I haven't done in a while. We might have to do a couple pins here. Tomorrow we'll figure out some embellishments, figure out some beads. We'll bling it up a little bit. Oh, that is cute. That's very cute, you guys. Tammy said tiny bow. Christy said, what about a yellow flower sequin for the middle? I don't have yellow up here, but you know what? I can grab some from the shop and show that tomorrow. I'll have to try to gather up some stuff tomorrow in the shop that like maybe are potentials and we can play around with it. Shirley said, I voted purple. Robin said, finally catching up on my little white box. Good. It's, I always hope for people to be motivated to get caught up on those, because when they start to pile up, it becomes overwhelming. I know it becomes overwhelming, but then once you get going, it's easier to keep going. Shirley said, I voted purple. I just read that one. Sorry about that. Martha said, Linda, did they love the ornament? How did you wrap it and present it? Robbie said, I enjoyed it though. Steven said, I'm sitting here working on the mosaic pattern right now. Ooh, that's a fun one. That's a fun one. I'm glad you're trying that one. Is this your first time through it? Kat said, so pretty. Sherry said, beautiful. Martha said, it's lovely. Thanks, guys. Jenny said, that's so sweet. Peggy said, love how the vision changes as you go along. I know, right? I like it too. It's fun just kind of like doing it with you guys and, you know, just kind of like, I don't know, just taking your input and doing whatever. Tammy said one of the gold flower bead caps would look nice in the center too. I feel like we can go in a lot of different directions with this. So I'll raid the shop tomorrow for some ideas for things that I don't already have up here, and we can play with it. I've also got, oh, those are little itty bitty sequins. I just saw these out of the corner of my eye. I just saw these really pretty purple, like mermaid purple sequins. The problem is they're tiny, but you know what? These could be cute. These could be cute, like in the points. I mean, with it being an Easter egg, you guys, we can, okay, now he's stuck in there. We can really play with this. Kat said, make one bow layer with that trim. That's an idea. Deborah said, just lovely. Steven said, first time, and I just finished up the first side. That's awesome. You're going to have to show us in the Facebook group. Did you join the Facebook group, Steven? You will have to show us there, and you should go in there. You should join if you haven't. All right, you guys. I think we'll finish tomorrow since we've been going so long. We're about to hit 2 hours. So tomorrow we'll do Finishing Friday. We'll finish this. I've got a couple other ornaments to finish, and then maybe we'll do one angel head just so that we can at least get make a dent in the angel shelf. So tomorrow, I'm not sure what time yet. I'm going to try to go a little earlier than I did today. Like maybe 4-ish is what I'm going to aim for. Don't be mad if I'm a little bit late, but that's what I'm going to aim for. Anne Marie said, I really love how the green layer made it look like a flower on the border. It did. The green really like just made the whole thing pop. So thank you, Shirley, for that. Tammy said, what time are you aiming for tomorrow? Have a good night. I'm going to aim for 4. Now today I got a later start than I wanted to because they were pressure washing next door, and they've been pressure washing for like 2 days. I'm hoping they finished, but if not, that is the only thing that might put me a little bit later because it's literally right outside this window of the front of my house, and it would have been too loud. So I'm going to aim for 4, but it could be a little bit later. Barb said, good night, all. Good night, Barb. Becky said, Stacy, Steven didn't tell it's his 3rd ornament. That's the 3rd one. So what are the other ones that you did? Wait, you said the one you were working on, Steven, already yesterday or the day before. We weren't here yesterday. The day before. I just can't remember which one it was. Tony said, this is beautiful. Thanks, Tony. Kathy said, good night, everyone. Night, Kathy. Steven said, I did. I just posted pics of the kit that I got in my little white box and the other one that I finished. I will go look. There's a few of you guys that I need to go catch up on posts with. So I will go look tonight. Thank you, Robbie. Nancy, you too. Nancy said, have a great rest of your night, everyone. Tammy said, I'll be late, but I'll try to be here. I work until 4 on Friday. Okay, I hope we can catch you. And if I'm a little bit later, then it'll work out. Bye, Shirley. Have a good night. Tammy, you too. Robbie said, I put a simple bow on the side. I feel like with eggs, sometimes a simple, smaller bow is the way to go. Night, Becky. Night, Anne-Marie. Night, Tony. All right, you guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out with me for this whole time. We were in it to win it tonight. I'll see you tomorrow. I hope you have a good rest of your night, and happy ornamenting, guys.